This avatar's getting kind of old now. What do you say we forget about it? That's not funny. Hey, it's me, Vale, otherwise known as Ren, or Remy, or Ew. Get away from me, you stinky raccoon. First off, I'm a bit of a furry at heart. I mean, look at my subjectively cute form and tell me otherwise. I like to make videos on occasion, although the day I actually upload something is the day hell freezes over. Let's see, what else? I like long walks on the beach, the occasional pina colada at sunset, and also suffer from chronic gender nonconformity, but let's not get into details. And also, let's end this crappy riff on my old Ford vs Chevy review because it's probably not funny and I'm confusing a lot of people. Anyway, point is, Valor4XD as a channel is finally going ahead with rebranding. So what's changing, apart from the crippling absence of everything right and wrong with? Well, don't worry too much, it'll still largely be the same old Valor4XD you've come to know and love. Wait, people love this channel? That's an odd thought. What will be changing is everything in the visual department. For a start, I have an avatar to represent me on screen now. One that actually has poses and doesn't have their arms indefinitely glued together. I've introduced you to them once or twice before, but yeah, this is Remy, my tiny baby raccoon persona. They, very important distinction by the way, it's they, not he, come with a bunch of poses and a bajillion expressions for each, which should help emphasize certain parts of videos as well as help me inject a little more humor into them. They won't be on screen all the time of course, just at key points. Admittedly, it was a little hard to crack funnies when all you could rely on was one pose and stock images from Google, especially when I'm not so keen on putting my actual self on camera. So having Remy on screen theoretically should help me in making my videos funnier as well as drive home certain points. Theoretically. Or this turns into an unmitigated disaster and all that comes of it is me being associated with the Rantsona community because I'm a raccoon who crossed their arms. The next thing is, I like the theme my channel was giving off, with the focus on dark grey, orange and a little bit of white, but my ears and the mask fur on my face don't vibe with it so well. So while I haven't finalised the design yet, I want to try something a bit brighter for the backgrounds, like a complementary blue to my orange hoodie, or pink because I have a new appreciation for purple and pink, so I'm all about this aesthetic. Yeah, I wasn't kidding when I said that. So yeah, we'll probably see a new intro as well. I have ideas for a new end slate with all the Patreon names and stuff. Got a cool idea for the channel banner in the works as well. Essentially, it's still the same channel you've known for the past half a decade, oh my gosh, just with a new coat of paint and a little more, energy, I guess? Because the old Valor4XD was fine, I suppose, but there wasn't any of that bap, you know? That pow, that kablamo, that impact. Just want to make my channel stand out a bit more, I guess. Also, general update time, the next two videos are based on an offensively bad kart racer and, what the hell, I'm just going to spoil it, Enthusia Professional Racing. Nobody remembers that game and I've been wanting to talk about it for ages, so yeah. After that was supposed to be the Need for Speed Most Wanted review, but I've pushed that back due to, technical issues, so that'll come out when it's ready. Other than that, I'm also going to start on the Sly Raccoon series very soon, which seems pretty fitting, all things considered. And I have a massive Ratchet & Clank video planned as well, which will take some time until it's ready because that video has been a massive undertaking and is at least several months in the making. Bunch of other stuff I want to tackle as well. I've been binging The Simpsons lately, so a hit and run review seems like a no-brainer. People keep asking for Ty the Tasmanian Tiger reviews as well, probably because I'm Australian, just realized an Australian raccoon doesn't make sense, but whatever, that's a good excuse for me to finally try those games. And it seems like racing games are sort of becoming my thing. Like how Nitro Rad is 3D platformers and Cat Icarus is PS1 games. So while I don't want to focus solely on racing games, I do have plans for a fair bit more racing game content, including a series where I tackle lesser known or forgotten racing games in a sort of compilation format, like the old My Little Pony games review. Speaking of which, this is not how I originally envisioned introducing my new look to everyone. The original intention was to make a furry games video, much like the MLP video I mentioned before, but I just haven't had the time to get around to doing it due to how much work it would have taken. That'll probably still happen at some point, but probably not for a very long time. Finally, the bloody short reviews format. Clearly people either aren't as interested in that, or maybe it's just because my last one was of a relatively unknown roguelike indie game, but don't be surprised if you stop seeing bloody short reviews at some point in the future. With some of them being longer than actual reviews, it kind of makes sense to just ditch the bloody short review moniker and just call them regular reviews. I don't know, we'll see where that goes. Anyway, I just want to thank everybody for being so patient while I've been doing all this. I know my output isn't fantastic, but I've wanted to get these stills and poses done before I made any major new videos, and I hope that the wait will have eventually been worth it. And while I think there will be some growing pains, especially with the next few videos in terms of this sort of thing, I hope that it does somehow help me improve my content. Some of you are obviously going to scoff and say, "Ew, cringe, stupid ugly LGBT SJW, what gender will you invent next for f***?" And that's fine, because if you think like that, then I don't want your intolerant ass on my channel, lol. So yeah, whatever. Anyway, like, comment, subscribe, hit bell, yada yada. If you have any suggestions for games you'd like to see me review, I'm always taking suggestions, so leave them in the comments down below. Also support me on Patreon. Again, thank you for the patience, really appreciate it. And, Owo.